TV soap news and spoilers today. Let's take a moment to discuss one of the most unexpected and provocative possibilities on Days of Our Lives. Kristen DiMera and Xander Cook becoming a couple. Now this might sound absolutely wild at first glance. After all, the two characters have been at odds for quite some time, and their personalities couldn't be more different. But when we take a deeper dive into their tumultuous pasts, personal grievances, and the undeniable chemistry between them, it's not as crazy as it may initially seem. In fact, this story has the potential to be one of the most explosive, dramatic, and unpredictable arcs to ever hit Salem. Let's take a closer look at why this unlikely pairing could be on the horizon and what kind of chaos and passion it could bring to the screen. Xander and Kristen, from rivals to potential lovers? As many Days of Our Lives fans know, Xander and Kristen are currently on opposing sides in the battle between DiMera Enterprises and Titan Industries. The conflict has been brewing for some time, with Xander's loyalty to Titan coming into direct conflict with Kristen's ties to the powerful DiMera family. This rivalry has caused friction, and the two have clashed numerous times, especially after Titan took over DiMera Enterprises. However, while they've been at odds professionally, there's a strange dynamic at play whenever these two characters interact. Kristen, known for her cunning, manipulative nature, has always had a certain appeal, even to her enemies. And while Xander has often positioned himself as the rough-and-tumble bad boy, we can see glimpses of vulnerability underneath the tough exterior. These traits could make them an unexpectedly perfect match, especially when emotions run high and tempers flare. The tension between Xander and Kristen has been palpable, but one particular moment stands out: Kristen's lingering gaze at Xander when he was shirtless. This seemingly innocent interaction became charged with sexual tension, sparking the idea that there could be something deeper bubbling beneath the surface. Sure, they argued about work during the hospital street fundraiser, but that didn't stop Kristen from eyeing Xander in a way that clearly showed interest. It was as if, in that moment, she saw more than just a rival. She saw a potential partner, a man who could fulfill her own desires and ambitions. It's this chemistry, coupled with their personal histories and rivalries, that could open the door for an affair between these two. But before we dive into how this might play out, let's consider what might push them to finally give in to the inevitable. Xander's personal struggles, the perfect storm for an affair. At the heart of this potential relationship is Xander's current emotional turmoil. Although Xander is married to Sarah Horton, their relationship has been anything but stable. Xander deeply loves Sarah, but recent events have shaken their foundation. The discovery of a fake letter that Sarah hid from him has been a major point of contention between them. Xander, heartbroken and angry, is left wondering if he can truly trust Sarah after everything that has happened. This breach of trust is a massive blow to their already fragile marriage. When we think about Xander's emotional state, it's clear that he's in a vulnerable place. He's been betrayed by the one person he thought he could count on, and his heart is shattered. But we all know that when Xander is angry, hurt, and confused, he often turns to alcohol as a means of coping. He's done it before in moments of pain, and it's likely that he could spiral again. In this weakened emotional state, Xander might do something he'll later regret, something that could change his life forever. In a fit of rage, fueled by alcohol and frustration, Xander might decide to drown his sorrows with none other than Kristen DiMera. She's a woman who knows how to get under his skin, but what if she also knows how to soothe him in ways Sarah can't right now? The prospect of a drunken, impulsive hookup between Xander and Kristen is far from impossible. In fact, it seems like the perfect storm for these two to get closer, perhaps even leading to a full-blown affair. Kristen's manipulations. Will she use Xander to her advantage? Kristen is no stranger to manipulation. She has used her charm and allure to get what she wants countless times in the past, and her calculating nature could come into play when it comes to Xander. It's possible that, deep down, Kristen sees an opportunity to turn this random encounter into something much more significant. Xander may be vulnerable, angry, and heartbroken, but Kristen sees an opening. She could easily take advantage of his emotional state, turning his pain into an opportunity for herself. Kristen has always had her sights set on power, and she's been willing to use any means necessary to achieve her goals. Whether she's trying to manipulate her way into a position of influence at DiMera Enterprises or pursuing other personal ambitions, Kristen is always scheming. Xander could be the perfect pawn in her grand plan. She could play on his emotions, use his anger and jealousy to manipulate him into her bed, and then use the affair to her advantage, either to further her own agenda at Titan or to create chaos between Xander and Sarah. Kristen's ability to charm and manipulate her way through Salem makes her a formidable opponent, and it's entirely possible that she could see this relationship with Xander as both a strategic move and a means of satisfying her own desires. If Kristen were to set her sights on Xander, she would not only be adding fuel to their already tense dynamic, but she would also be positioning herself as someone who can control him, something she's always excelled at. Xander and Kristen's affair, the fallout that could shake Salem. If Xander and Kristen's affair does indeed come to fruition, the fallout will be nothing short of catastrophic. Xander's marriage to Sarah is already on shaky ground, and if he were to betray her with Kristen, it could destroy what little trust is left in their relationship. Sarah's heartbreak would be devastating, and it's unclear if she would ever be able to forgive Xander for such a betrayal. The consequences of this affair would ripple through every aspect of Xander's life, causing irreparable damage to his relationships and his standing in Salem. But the consequences wouldn't stop there. Kristen, as always, would have her own agenda. She would use the affair as a way to gain power and control, potentially driving a wedge between Xander and Sarah even further. Kristen's scheming nature and her ability to manipulate those around her could turn this affair into a weapon of destruction, one that could tear apart families, ruin reputations, and create chaos in Salem. The drama that would unfold from this affair would be unlike anything we've seen in Days of Our Lives history. Xander would also have to grapple with the guilt of what he's done. After betraying Sarah, he would be forced to confront his actions and face the consequences of his impulsive decision. His love for Sarah, once so strong, would now be marred by the shadow of his affair with Kristen. Would Xander regret his actions and try to fix his marriage, or would he continue down a dark path with Kristen, knowing that he may never be able to repair the damage he's caused? Kristen and Xander, a relationship built on betrayal and passion. Ultimately, a relationship between Kristen and Xander would be built on a foundation of betrayal, passion, and manipulation. While it may start as an impulsive affair, the emotional stakes would quickly rise, especially as both characters struggle with their desires, guilt, and ambitions. Kristen's manipulative tendencies, combined with Xander's emotional vulnerability, could create a dangerous and combustible relationship that would leave viewers on the edge of their seats. But is it likely to happen? In the world of Days of Our Lives, anything is possible. With the right mix of drama, emotional turmoil, and impulsive decisions, Kristen and Xander could easily find themselves in each other's arms, setting off a chain reaction that could change the course of their lives forever. As always, we'll have to wait and see how the writers decide to unfold this storyline. But one thing is for certain: if Xander and Kristen do become a couple, it will be a journey full of highs, lows, and plenty of shocking moments. Our TV channel Soap News and Spoilers is the place for those who want to know how the Salem story goes, as well as great Days of Our Lives updates and news. So subscribe to our channel to get what you want. Bye-bye.